Pak's snooping attempt has now been thwarted by India. The BSF has shot down a Pakistani drone. This incident took place in the Hiranagar sector along the international border. This visual has been accessed exclusively by Times Now. This is of the drone that was shot down by Indian forces. This incident took place in Hiranagar sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan's attempt to snoop on India has been thwarted. Senior editor Pradeep Dutta now joins us for more on this. Yes, Pradeep. Pradeep, if you can hear me, Pakistan's attempt to snoop on India has been thwarted by our forces.
It was not only, in fact, to snoop on India, it was also to deliver weapon. In fact, the drone has been shot in Hiranagar sector along the international border. It was today morning at about 5:30 a.m. when all of a sudden the patrolling party saw that a drone came from Pakistan side. It entered from Pakistan side and it came closer to the border outpost in Pansa. And immediately they heard the noise and they shot down this drone. And they have recovered one US-made rifle and some drugs also. That means the drone was not only used for the snooping purpose, but it was a dual purpose. They wanted to deliver arms and ammunition along with some drugs also. This consignment was meant for some overground worker who was operating on this side of the border. So that is a matter of investigation, who are the people behind this thing. But one thing is quite clear, that the sinister plot of Pakistan to deliver arms and ammunition, snoop on Indian side, as well as to deliver a consignment of drugs has been busted by the alert border security force personnel along the international border in Hiranagar sector. This is not first time when the drone has been used for the delivery of arms and ammunition. Earlier, last year also, they had used a similar kind of a sinister plot and tactics for delivery of arms and ammunition in Punjab sector also. And that time, intelligence agencies say that those arms and ammunition was also meant to destabilize peace in Jammu and Kashmir. So after application of Article 370, this is for the first time that these tactics have been used in this sector in Jammu region also, where they had tried to deliver arms and ammunition. There is a US-made rifle and along fitted with the magazine. They are trying to find out what was the purpose, who were the people behind this thing, who are the overground workers working on this side. Hiranagar sector is considered to be one of the infiltration routes from where earlier also there had been infiltration attempt. Ever since there had been mobilization of the Chinese troops, Pakistan is trying to take an advantage of situation. They are trying to push in arms and ammunition into this side of the border. Right. They're trying to infiltrate terrorists. But this is a big success for the border security force, because these are GPS-fitted drones which has a capacity and are capable of lifting up to 10 kgs of arms and ammunition along with other consignment. And right now the BSF senior officer, IGP Jammu zone, is already there on spot. He is inspecting everything, and very soon they will come out with the details.
Absolutely, we will be getting more details on that. Stay with us, Pradeep. Nikunj Garg also joins us for more on this. Nikunj, the patrolling party of the BSF from the 19th Battalion really spotted this drone and shot it down. This happened in the Hiranagar sector. It is, like Pradeep was mentioning, not just a snooping attempt, but also an attempt to really foment trouble in Jammu and Kashmir by passing on arms, by passing on drugs from the other side of the border.
Well, absolutely. And I think that is what Pradeep is indicating is the more important part, or the more sinister part of this entire conspiracy, because 8 rounds of 9mm were fired by the border security force, and brought down this drone. And we have now pictures of the ammunition of weapons and grenades that are on air for our viewers to see as to how much ammunition Pakistan is trying to send across, trying to fish in the troubled waters at this stage, when India is already engaged in a conflict with the Chinese. And Pakistan's attempts have only increased during this period, trying to take advantage, assuming that the border guarding forces on the western frontiers, which is the border security force, and the Indian army would lower their guard in order to, send more troops from this frontier to the eastern frontier. And obviously they're wanting to take advantage of that kind of situation. And this is quite an advanced drone. A lot of arms and ammunition and grenades have been recovered. Grenades, obviously, remember, Poonam, is a completely different kind of armament and armory. You just throw a grenade in a marketplace, in a place of congregation, it creates large amount of panic, and a law and order situation goes for complete haywire. and complete panic is spread in an area where terrorists doesn't even have to show their presence. It's not a standalone kind of fighting armory. It's just a weapon of deceit. It's just a weapon of subterfuge, and it can be used with devastating effect. And we have seen this Kashmiri terrorists using it whenever they come under intense or intensified pressure from the security forces. They will just go and throw 4 or 5 grenades in busy marketplaces, causing multiple casualties, be it in terms of minor injuries or major injuries, but panic and mayhem is probably of the equal scale. So Pakistanis obviously are at this point in time trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to foment trouble, keeping in mind the fact that they know that India is particularly the security establishment at this point in time completely is a bit distracted from the army to the paramilitaries to the internal security establishment because of the intense conflict that we have seen in the past few days on our eastern frontier with the Chinese.
Right.
And Pakistan obviously at no opportunity would leave any stone unturned to try and fish in the troubled waters.
Absolutely, that's exactly what they're trying to do. This is not the first time, Nikunj, that they've done so. They're obviously using the opportunity, like you mentioned, of what's happening really in Ladakh. But if anything, given the circumstances that we are in right now, our forces are vigilant not just on that frontier, but also on the border with Pakistan.
Well, absolutely, and Pakistan will realize it soon enough that if it thinks that it can take a great advantage of this situation, and in the end, it would be detriment to the Pakistanis themselves if they're trying to foment trouble in any of our province. Pakistan has seen it in the past few years, and Pakistan will continue to see it. Obviously, Pakistan's deep-seated desire, Poonam, is that somehow India gets embroiled in a conflict with China, and in a show of force, the Chinese can somehow lower the morale of our forces. That, of course, is a wishful thinking from the Pakistani side, and then they can probably take advantage of it. Pakistani generals and leadership is very fond, Poonam, of talking about a two-front war that Indian army will have to face, and Indian army has no capability of fighting. Realizing little that, even if it's a two-front war or 2.5 frontier war, Indian army and the other armed forces of the Union, alongside the law enforcement apparatus and internal security apparatus of the country, is well galvanized to take care of this kind of Pakistani treachery. And
Right.
if they think that any kind of imbroglio or any kind of feud with Chinese can give them an upper hand, then that is only, I would say, remain a wishful thinking and continues to be a wishful thinking of the Pakistani generals, which in the past has only yielded them very bitter harvest. But somehow it's a stupid country which refuses to learn any lessons at any given point of time, even to the detriment of its own citizenry, Poonam.